If not ready for Oleksandr Usyk in any way, shape or form. A man who hasn't been past 6 or 7 rounds, I think the division isn't that strong when it comes to the amount of ability that he has. I don't think anyone else has that amount of actual ability. What he lacks in experience, he makes up for in clear ability.
Do you think Warren would put him in for a world title shot within a year?
Put him in with Dillian White next. Tells you everything you need to know, because Dillian has beat the likes of Joseph Parker. Dillian has beaten almost all the top heavyweights. So to throw him in with Dillian White, and we haven't seen, even though Dillian isn't at that same level when he beat Joseph Parker, no one's still done him. He's still virtually, I haven't seen him beat for quite a long time. So the matchmaking tells you all you need to know. When he's matched with Dillian White next out, I think that tells you all you need to know, in my opinion. So I expect him to be from Dillian White. But you've got to look at it. What's the next step after Dillian White?
I think a few more like that.
Yeah, but who is there? So he goes Dillian White. Who does he go next? Joseph Parker. I just think they let him off the leash. He's not ready, don't get me wrong, he's not ready for Oleksandr Usyk in any way, shape or form. A man who hasn't been past 6 or 7 rounds cannot be ready for Oleksandr Usyk. He's not ready for...
And those are more words of Tony Bellew as he gives his thoughts on Moses Atoma versus Oleksandr Usyk. And as you guys heard, my counterpunch, I have to agree. I mean, you can't, unless he knocks out Oleksandr Usyk somewhere that, or some place in this fight or in a fight that he's known, that he's experienced in. If he knocks him out early rounds, that's different. But that's what he's accustomed to. He hasn't been long enough to be with someone like Usyk. And really, here's my thing, man. I'm really burnt out on the mindset of, why are they pushing Moses so hard? Why are they shoving him in everybody's fucking face? I mean, think about it. Moses Atoma was the prospect of last year. 2024, he was the prospect of last year. Now he's like, oh, he'll be a champion. I'm like, okay, well, what's the deal? Let this man grow. Let this man cook. Let this man do what he does. The Dillian White fight, okay. I mean, even that may be a push forward, a push too eager to make or to get done. Maybe that's a point. Maybe that's the case. I think if anything at all, you're dealing with someone that I feel is being pressured. He may be ambitious. He may want it, but I don't think doesn't make it right. Because I think if any promoter wants to do anything productive with a fighter, you don't pressure him and force him to do shit. You know, you let it happen. You don't just throw him to the wolves because you think he's a Wolverine, right? He's still growing. You know, even if Moses went in a fight where he went 10 rounds, I would feel better about throwing him in there. But Oleksandr Usyk, Tony Bellew is absolutely right. Tony Bellew is like, look, you can't put him in there with somebody that has that type of experience, along with skill and ring IQ. You can't do that. That wouldn't even be right. Because what more than likely, okay, let's play devil's advocate. You know what'll happen if Moses goes in there with Oleksandr Usyk? They make a fight and they push it and they throw all this money out there, and they, you know, a lot of people are going to bet on Moses because he's from Britain, he's British and all that stuff. And this, you know what's going to happen? Usyk's going to go out there and do the same type of fight he did with Tony Bellew. He's going to infiltrate. He's going to see what Moses has. He's going to drag his ass into deep waters. He's going to go round after round after round. And when he gets in deep enough and far enough, he's going to let him have it. He's going to eat him alive. That's what's going to happen. And then everybody's going to be like, shit, we're looking at Calzaghe versus Jeff Lacey. You know what I mean? It'll probably be that type of fight because you're looking at Moses. He won't have that ability because he never needed that ability in later rounds. That's a different type of fight when you go far like that in these rounds. And you get way out here and you're round 8, you're round 9, you're in uncharted waters. And your conditioning is not where you thought it was. And the youth is not helping you right now because that's all burnt out. Right? So it happens, man. So Tony Bellew, big up to Tony Bellew. I believe what he's saying. You guys tell me what you believe about Tony Bellew's prediction on, or thoughts rather, on Oleksandr Usyk versus Moses Atoma. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.